Welly, welly, well. This is Mickey, the Putney Oracle from Raised on Radio, with a monster shout out to all the English people in the Orba Valley and everybody who listens to the show around the world. I'm pleased to be able to tell you that I am in the Islington Academy tonight, and in a couple of hours Chez Kane will be taking the stage. I've seen the legendary Led Zeppelin, Rainbow, Van Halen, The Who, and the top female artists like Nina Hagen, Cyndi Lauper, Stevie Nicks, and the great Tina Turner. Having just sat through the sound check here, I am really looking forward to tonight, and I think the audience is in for a shock and a treat. Anyway, enough of my old nonsense and codswallop. Let's go and hear from the girl herself. Hello Chez, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. How are you feeling knowing that this is the first night of the tour?
Pretty nerves, but in a good way. So
Yeah.
It's been a lot of preparation, and obviously I've left quite a few things till last minute because obviously the release of my album has taken up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
So as we left this morning, I just finished everything. So
Okay.
and then it's gone from travelling to getting here and just on
Yeah.
a sound check, and now I'm chatting to
Yeah.
lovely you.
I watched the sound check and it was great. Both songs were great, but I noticed that you're the boss. You get up there and you tell people what you want, and you ask them what they think, and then you get the sound man doing what you want, and you're hands on right through the band. Is that the case, or am I misinterpreting something?
Well, I'm still finding my feet a little bit because obviously I haven't played many shows yet because of COVID, but yes,
Yeah.
I'm always the boss.
Good.
Always the boss.
Good. Personally, how do you prepare tonight as a first night, to any other show? Is it do you have different preparations, or do you stick by the same routine?
It's been a lot harder this time because obviously it's my first UK headline tour, so the preparation has been pretty crazy. And some of my band live in Norfolk. And I had a change of musician last minute as well, so the preparation has been quite stressful.
Okay.
But we pulled it together, so not overly different,
Okay.
but the set is longer, so it feels like it needed a bit more thought around it, with it being a UK headline tour.
Can I ask you what the last minute change was? Who it was?
Bass player.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you happy with the fella that's come in?
Very happy, and he learnt everything under a week.
That's fantastic.
I know, my mind's blown. He's absolutely blown my mind. My name is Cheryl originally, and then it's just been shortened to Chez, so...
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
fine. Because Ben kept calling you Chez, and I said, no, it's Chez. I've looked at a video on YouTube, and I saw Chez, and she said Chez, and he wouldn't have it. So now you know, Ben, it's Chez and not Chez.
Yes.
I think what would be good for our listeners as well, Chez, is if you give us an insight into your background, and that's entirely up to you, whether you just want to talk about your musical background or family, or where you come from, anything like that, entirely up to you. But I think our listeners would be interested to know a little bit about the person behind the voice.
Okay, so to cut a incredibly long story short, I've been brought up in music, so born into a family of singers and musicians. My dad's a singer, my sister's a singer, my grandparents were in bands back in the day, so there was no escape from music for me, and it's been my passion all my life. Moving on from that then, I started a band with my sisters called Kane, and we were doing this for 10 years, trying to get somewhere with our music. Everybody struggles a little bit, so we're finding it a bit hard, but we're still together as a band. But then I got offered to do this opportunity to do my solo project with this is really hard to get a full story into in a very short
You're
space.
doing all right. Trust me, you're
okay.
doing all right.
I'm getting tongue-tied. So then I started working with Danny Rexon of the band Crazy Licks, who discovered me on YouTube by doing a cover of Vixen's Edge of a Broken Heart. He was talking to Frontiers about starting this project with a singer, found me, I demoed some songs. Fast forward on from that, here I am with my second album.
And a great story.
Did I do a good job then?
No, it's a great story. It's a great story. Who are your heroes? And I don't mean just musically, I mean in life. Who are your heroes?
Well, it's always going to start with my dad because he obviously was the singer that I looked up to first. So he is my hero and inspired me to wanting to be a singer. And then obviously my sisters have been my heroes as well because they're singers and I got jealous of them. So
yeah.
You know.
I've seen footage on YouTube of you three guys together. It's unbelievable. 3 hugely powerful voices.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what you're talking about.
And my mum is my hero as well because she always keeps my shit together. You can beep that out.
All mums do that. Yeah, all mums do that. Who would you say had the greatest musical influence on you?
Musical influence. I'm influenced by many different bands, singers, people. I can't really pinpoint one because I take influence from so many different genres and singers. But a few standout singers for me is Miles Kennedy from Alter Bridge, Eric Gronwall from formerly of Heat, who is now in Skid Row, highly inspired by that guy, and yeah, just Pat Benatar's another one. There's so many. My dad's another one. My sisters were others. So yeah, I just take influence from everywhere.
And what about further beyond? Further back, shall I say, from that era?
Def Leppard.
And before that, anything before that? Because you're creeping into my era then, you see.
I would say the 2 first main inspirations, especially for this style of music, was Joe Elliott and Pat Benatar.
Yeah.
So Def Leppard was the first band that got me into this style of music, and then Pat Benatar, my sister, was playing a lot, so that
Would that be with Def Leppard? Would that be very early or later on?
When I was around 13, I heard Pour Some Sugar on Me on the radio and instantly rocked out.
I saw them when they first came out. They supported Black Sabbath.
Oh,
they did about
wow.
40 minutes at what was then Hammersmith Odeon. It's the Apollo now.
I saw them first in Hammersmith Apollo when I was 15. That was the first gig I ever went to.
What are your musical tastes? I mean, yes, we know what you do.
Yeah.
And you do it extremely well.
Thank you.
And we're all pleased to say. But what are your musical tastes?
I like lots of genres of rock, so every time I put music on, it usually tends to be rock, unless I'm chilling out, which is quite random. I like to listen to Enigma if I'm in a chill out mood.
Yeah, I like them. Yeah.
Like Enigma. But yeah, with rock, I across the board love rock music, so it can go from like Def Leppard to Lamb of God to Alter Bridge. I literally love lots of genres of rock. And
would it be safe to say that this is the kind of music you listen at home, or is there particular bands? I mean, for instance, I remember Tony Iommi, the Black Sabbath guitar player, when he did a tour or a rehearsal or whatever it was, he would go home and listen to like classical music. So do you do anything like that, or?
So what I'm listening to a lot at the moment is Heat. I'm listening to a lot of Alter Bridge because their new album just came out. Yeah. I'm listening to a lot of Nesta. Have you heard of Nesta?
No.
Oh, you need to check Nesta out.
Okay, where are they from?
Very, very good. I think they're Swedish as well. They bought their album out the same time as my debut album, and it's kind of along the same lines. So, bringing back this style of music. So you need to check Nesta out.
Okay, so if I mention Within Temptation, then
I like Within Temptation as well. Yes.
Yeah. How did you put the band together?
With the band that I have with me now?
Yes.
So in the beginning, when I started doing my debut, I knew I wanted to take this on the road straight away. So I did hold some auditions online to get a band together that were willing to come and play some shows for me, who were driven to play the shows. So it went from there with that. But obviously in the future, I want to be touring as much as possible. So I don't know if the lineup will always stay the same, because if I want to go over to the United States, it's quite difficult to get like musicians all over there. And so yeah, started with auditions, and we're just going to see what happens. I've already had one bass player change, so
yeah. How do you see yourself developing as an artist? Will you stay in this genre, or do you see yourself moving into different fields again, like we discussed earlier, different styles of music? And
I love this style of music. I'm quite passionate about it. I love performing it as well. It's so much fun. So if I could keep doing this style of music, I would love to, but I'm always open to doing new projects. I've done a few collaborations with people since, which has been a slightly different style of music.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love 80s, so if I could help revive it back to life today because I feel like it's missing.
So I would say then there's probably a good chance at some point you'll return to work with your sisters as well.
Yes, that's definitely on the cards as well. Obviously I see my sisters all the time when I'm excited about something. They're the first people I'm on the phone to.
Yeah.
My sister's here doing my merch today, so
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to have a chat with her later then.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think that classic rock is underrepresented at the moment in this country?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it needs to come back to life because I think it's a bit lost. It frustrates me a bit with radio because there are radio stations out there playing this kind of music, but they never tend to be mainstream radios. I think there's a radio station in Wales called Nation Radio that's doing not a bad job of trying to bring the classic rock in all the time. But
Nice plug.
Yeah, but I do feel like, they're not playing me yet though. They're not playing me yet.
I'll make a phone call.
They need to play me.
Yeah.
But I would love to be able to help bring this music back because it needs to be. It's insane. And the second you hear like Whitesnake on the radio, you're like, yeah, come on, they're playing a good song.
Yeah. I remember seeing Whitesnake again at Hammersmith Odeon, and I sat upstairs in the middle of the front of the balcony with my wife, and it was empty.
Oh
and
my
a man
God.
appeared, a security fellow said, Mr. Coverdale said, would you like to go down the front?
Wow.
I said, no thank you. Tell Mr. Coverdale this is the best view in the house, I'm staying here.
Oh, wow.
And it was fantastic. What a show.
Yeah.
What a show. It's a fair bet to say that you might see yourself as carrying the torch for other young female rock singers.
Oh, I hope so. I hope that I can inspire people to do this as well. I would say it's not easy. It is a hard graft, but if you've got the determination and the willpower and it's something you really want to do, just go for it and don't let it go because it's the best feeling ever.
Okay.